What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Casual Hours live stream. I'm Bobby, the host of the show. I am going to be bringing you one of my favorite new additions to my library of games, a game called Satisfactory that's in early access. I've been playing this for a little bit, not a lot. I've kind of lost myself to it, and a few other things came out. This is around, I don't know, like a month and a half ago. Dumped a lot of time into it, realized that this game is very big, like huge and very scalable. And for me, I found that I was really only wanting to do this. I was thinking about it, I was dreaming about it. I get lost in games like these. And if you've been following the stream, if you've been following our podcast, any of the social media, particularly that I'm putting out, you know that I'm a sucker for jobs that put you to work. We've done some Everspace on the stream, which is more of like just like an arcade shooter. But I have been playing a few other games. Most recently, I did some Hard Space Shipbreaker, where I was just tearing apart stuff and having some tasks to do. I love Minecraft. I like Stardew Valley. I've said this before, but Satisfactory is all about scaling and building automation while building incredible factories. And I'll say right at the top of the show that I know very little about this game and how deep the rabbit hole goes. So tonight, I thought we'll do two things. We're going to build a new world together. And maybe at the end or near the end of the stream, I'll load up one of my prior saves and show you what I've accomplished so far, which, like, looking at people's builds that are live on here, it's nothing great. But I think it'll be quite a bit of fun. And so tonight, we're going to start a brand new world. We're going to hop into that world. If you have any thoughts, if there's any things you want to see done, throw it up in chat. I want this to be something that we do together. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that you're all aware of what's happening and why I'm making some of the decisions I've made. And I'm going to be starting in an entirely new area that's unfamiliar to me. So this will be something that we can all experience together here on stream. So when you're picking out a new spot, the grass fields is where they really encourage new players to go. And this is where I have my current build at. The other area is called the Rocky Desert. The Northern Forest is another one. And then you have the Dune Desert. Tonight, we're going to be doing the Northern Forest. That's going to be the area that I think that we should build in. I am going to skip the intro and just hop into it. And I'll do my best to update you all on what that looks like. But we're going to hop into the Northern Forest here. This is a multiplayer game from what I've heard. Majority of the bugs from the early access stuff do occur when you're in the multiplayer build of it. So to kind of set the stage, very briefly to loop you up to what's going on here, you get dumped into this planet, and essentially you're looking for resources to start an automation of harvesting those resources and then getting them up to the company that you work for. And so as we're here, one of the first things that you need to do, which it didn't, maybe I should have started with the build where they give us, oh, they got us some stuff here already. Okay, that's helpful. So interestingly enough, like when you first start the game, you'll have this pod that you came down with. You're supposed to disassemble it, get its materials, and go and find a spot to essentially build your first hub. And tonight, since we just started without that intro, it just dumps you into the game. So one of the first things in this game that you want to do when you're trying to find where to go is the bare minimum of resources. They're sending you out. They want you to find all this information for them, start to gather things and build this process. If you hold down V, it brings up a scanner. And in the scanner, you can select different materials and start to really coordinate towards it. I like to look for iron ore. That's a big basis for starting. So tonight, I'll grab this. That's going to pull out a scanner and then let us know if there's anything nearby. So we've got a spot about 437 meters over that way. Got a couple more a bit further out. I think we might head west. So what I want to do is equip a few things. Now you can expand this, both slots on your body, your overall inventory, and your hands. There's going to be anything that you pick up while you're out in the wild, anything that you're moving around between your character and your storage. They explain this game to be more about that automation I was mentioning, but there is going to be a combat element to it. Not a lot. Like, it's definitely not going to be a situation where you need to do a lot of fighting, but you're going to have to do some. They start you off with this tool here, it's essentially a taser. So you'll have that. Pretty straightforward. There's no stamina meters. You don't go down. You don't run out of ammo on it. It does a pretty good job defending you, and you'll use that quite a bit until you can build something a bit stronger. They've got a few different things that you can start with for your hub. These little things here are pretty awesome. These portable miners, we'll get into that. But I mean, we're building everything from the ground up here. So I'll scan one more time, make sure we're heading the right way, and let's check out the world. Let's see what we're up against here. So I'm gonna start grabbing these leaves. I'll use that for fuel stuff as we get building. I do think that this, I could not fight my way out of a paper bag. You're absolutely right, Jive. I would not do very good. But have you seen this? I don't know if this would be your shit or not. Like, I think that you've played a few games with me. I know that you like the grind, but I don't know if this would be something that you would be into or not. All right, let's see what we get into. So I'm looking not only for some of these materials here that I was pinging for, but anything else worth noting, like some landmarks. I'm a pretty visual learner when it comes to this game or games like this. Let's see if we can make our way down that way, because I think that's where we need to head. Yeah, we need to get down. That would be pretty brutal if we fell there. So let's see if we can go around. These things put out a poisonous gas, so we don't want to get too close or hang out with them too long, because we are not in the best spot. There's some things around here that I don't want to get to a point where like, oh, let's chase that. Let's chase that. I can be a victim of shiny objects when it comes to games like this. So I'm doing my best to keep us on getting to that iron ore and starting this process. Who knows? This might end up being my main playthrough as I spend some time with you all doing it. I've gotten into a bit of a snag on my initial playthrough. I've gotten to the point where I need different power levels, and this particular build that I had prior to the one that we're doing right now certainly was not kind when it came to that. We're getting close. Yeah. Oh wow. Quite a bit over here. So these here are going to be the areas that we want to focus in on. So I got an enemy over there. These are some flies. We can definitely zap them and get rid of them, no problem. But this is going to be, oh, it's Pier 2. Awesome. So this is what we want to set up. The first process of doing this is our hub, though. So we need to get a hub set up. Then I'll start working on these. I think this looks like an okay spot over here for the hub, kind of out of the way of these things. Should be all right. Yeah, I think I do like that for now. So we're going to build this hub. And again, if you would have been playing this with the tutorial, you would have taken apart your pod and they would have told you how to build this here. But we're going to build up pick up our build menu here and get the layout for this. This is a pretty large area. This is going to be doing quite a bit for us when it comes to all things. This is Grand Central for us. You can tear it down and move it again if you need to, but we're going to start with that. All right, let's see what they're saying. So we got a few things to start off with. We're going to be going through these tiers. Tier 0 is like basically the intro to it. We skipped over that. There's an option when you're building your world or selecting your world where you can basically skip the intro and go right to tier 1, which is what we're doing. So these are the 3 areas that we're going to be working to unlock right now. We've got base building, which is going to give us our foundational equipment that helps us raise up this place and start to actually build a proper factory. Logistics is very, very helpful. That's going to be our conveyor splitter, merger, all that fun stuff. Then field research gets us quite a bit more when it comes to our hand slots, inventory slots, another storage box that we can build out. And it's pretty doable. Like, we've got a lot of the stuff we would need down here already. So I think that we can start with logistics. That'll be a good milestone to start going after. So the way these milestones work, they're going to hang out over here in your current milestone area in the upper right corner. Let me make this bigger for everyone. There we go. So we'll have this in the upper right-hand corner, which is behind my head, which let me see if I can turn that off for a second. There we go. So we're going to be tracking these items here in the upper corner. I don't know how much you need to see them. If you have a question, throw it in chat, but I'll be blocking that with my lovely face again. So we're going to track those items and get to work on it. I've got a decent amount of it. I can bring this stuff over. And that's going to start to fill this up. Getting us some resources there. And we'll see what we can find. So the first thing I want to do is get this iron started. And I'll drop one of these. So by themselves, they can only hold up to 100, but they're going to do all that mining for us, which is awesome. Takes a lot of the load off us while we're getting our bearings about this location. And it looks like there's another spot over here. I'll make sure that I have my weapons ready to go. These little bastards. There we go. All right. Crisis averted. So we'll get some more of this. My last build that I did started off in an area where I had quite a bit of stuff right at my disposal, and I enjoyed that a lot because I wasn't brave enough to really venture out too far as I was getting my bearings, but this will be a nice spot for us to start, and maybe we'll go see what else is around us. But for the time being, it's good to get some resources flowing. These barrel nuts are really helpful. That's your health. So if I start to really take a beating, we'll be in a good spot. This has been a game that I had spent a lot of nights just unwinding with. Like spending the rest of the night, like just maybe I was playing a pretty intense game. We'd kick around here and just explore, work on building out a factory. So we got some more flies over there to take out. See if we can get that sorted really quick. Got iron. I should also look for, we need some copper. See what we can find. Looks like there's some nearby. That'll be helpful. Come on. All right. Some more iron? Yep. Damn, I got 4 clusters here. What's going on with Twitch? Is it not working for you? I'll hang on to that for now because I'm gonna see if I can find that copper. If you're talking about like on the mobile device, yeah, it's not wonderful. Limestone pure there too. All right. I haven't had terrible issues with it on Apple devices, but I typically don't watch on my phone that much. If that's what I watch on my iPad a lot, and that's great. Jive. Let me know how my audio levels are. Oh, sweet. There's some copper there. Awesome. maybe underestimated just how much work goes into starting up a new world also. All right, so these deals are our little portable miners are probably full back where we were at near the hub. Yeah, I can see some stuff over here. So let's go clean those out. We'll put some things away. I'll heal up really quick. And we'll go from there. So eventually we're going to set up our own little process here where we shouldn't do a lot by hand. And I think that's one of the bigger pieces of advice I can give anybody who's coming from a game like Stardew Valley, like Minecraft, where you are really crafting and grinding and planting and doing a lot of manual labor. The whole point of a game like Satisfactory is to scale up as quickly as possible. And in doing so, it really takes a lot of the labor out of it. I mean, you're going to see early on in this playthrough that we're collecting a lot of stuff that we got to put back together, and that's fine. I mean, it gets the job done, and it's part of the flow here, but it is not the way to play the game. You got to get this scaled up pretty quickly. We'll hang on to those. Actually, I should get some of that copper because we need some iron ore too. So I'll craft some of this while we're hanging out. One of the things I was excited about with this is that you have to basically hold down the mouse or the keyboard whenever you're doing this particular part. So I have some downtime where it would allow me to hang out with you all and answer some more questions. So I thought that this game would be pretty good for stream because it would allow me not to be so focused on the gameplay, but give me some nice breaks in between things. Jive, what's going on with your Twitch stream here? Is it not working? As you can see, there is an autosave function. You can do manual saves, but the autosave is pretty forgiving if you do have an accident or if you do fall. It also lets you know with a countdown when it's going to be doing it. So if you are in the midst of doing something that you don't want to save, you can stop that process pretty quick. So what I'm making right now are these iron bricks here, and that's going to allow us to start to build those iron rods, which we need about 90 more of. So I could stop when I get right to 90, but I'm going to go ahead and deplete all of the iron that I have while making this. And then I need copper wire, I think. Yeah, I need a lot of copper wire. And I do need some iron plates also. This should be very doable for us. These early ones aren't awful. So then I'm going to kick down here and I'm going to get my 90 iron rods made. And everything is on a cycle. So you can see that this is one hammer hit gets me this particular rod, where the last thing I was making was like 3 per item. So it was taking quite a bit more time. And there's a lot of ratios that happen in this game of power to output. I have not gotten that deep into it yet, but when you see people really lose themselves to this game, they're doing some incredible things with timing out how much power output they have to equipment being made. And it's really nuts to see happen. So again, like this copper here, that's going to take 3 hits for each piece that we make. So it does take some time. What I've done in the past is I've set something heavy on the space bar while I'm playing. Like if I need to craft a lot of shit, I'll set that down and I'll hop on Twitter and check that stuff out while it's going. It is a game that you can definitely like grind, or just really take your time with it. I would suggest playing however you want to play it. But we'll craft out this copper. Once we get this part done, I'll see if I can make some more with what we have on hand. It'll probably be time to go through, pick up those portable miners that we have, because again, they're only holding 100 until we can get those set up to offset to storage and all that, which we have to build something a bit bigger, get in some power. So I wanted to check off a few of these boxes first. So 60 wire from that, not awful. This is a pretty quick one to make also. I was feeling really good about myself. Feeling really good about how I approached Satisfactory, and I was like, oh man, this factory is great. Johnny had built the factory up with me. I was like, dude, we got a really, really special thing going here. And I was thinking to myself, like, hot damn, like this is a game that I already feel pretty good at. And then I made the mistake of watching what other people have done. Oh shit. There are some insanely talented people in the community for Satisfactory, some very devoted players for Satisfactory that have made some incredible builds. And I found myself, hey, thanks for that follow. I found myself like blown away by what they were doing and like taking some notes and trying to figure it out. And I found that the community here on Twitch around that game has been easily like one of the best sources of inspiration. And I was hesitant, a little scared to actually stream this game with a lot of people because, again, I'm not great at it, but I figured maybe somebody from the community would hang out, swing by. I can end up playing with other people. And at the end of the day, I'm just having a blast with it. Like, this is to me like dumping. It's not quite like the creative mode on like in Minecraft or something, but I like the idea of tinkering and really making something from nothing that is this big. So really cool shit to watch for this game. And I'm happy to add my little corner of the world to it. A few things to note about the map when we were picking our world out. You can effectively walk to all the locations or get to the locations. I don't know if walking is the best path that we want to take, but you can effectively get to where you need to go. And the map all does interconnect. Later on in the game, you can get a map that'll show you resources where you've been, make life a lot easier. But that's a ways off, and I don't want to spoil too much because I think it's pretty incredible to see how the game comes together. So yeah, early on, a lot of task-oriented grinding that you're going through doing these things. I probably have enough stuff once we build the workshop where I can add a few more of those portable miners, and we'll start to scale up a little bit. It does a really nice job of onboarding you if you wanted to figure out like what steps to take. The early objectives will let you know like, okay, you need to build one of these or do one of these things, and it'll say, okay, get this or that, and it holds your hand quite a bit. Like as somebody who never played the game before, I never felt lost or out of sorts without it. So let's see if I can actually build that workshop. I might be able to. I don't know if I can yet or not. There we go. I don't think I have enough shit to build that yet. We'll come back to it. Let's focus on... That's my problem. You just saw it in action. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, oh, wait, shiny object. Let me focus on that for a second. I get super distracted. My mind wanders and races like crazy on these games. Slow down and take you with me. So we'll drop off that. We've got that done. Getting close. We'll make some more stuff here. Iron plates. That'll be the next one that we do. We're close there. About 21 of those. That should take care of that. And then we're just going to focus on that copper. I hope everybody's had a great Monday. For me, I just wrapped up a vacation. So tonight's my last night on vacation. I'll go back to work tomorrow. But it worked out really well. Like I haven't been going out doing a whole lot with COVID. Still not great where we're at, and playing it safe. So had some time off with the wife. We watched some shows, hung out with the dogs. And really, I tried to put a lot of effort and time into getting the Casual Hours stream set up. We had been doing mostly, I mean, we're going to be going on 5 years as a podcast this June. And we've always toyed around with the idea of like, hey, it'd be cool to do a live show. And about a year ago, Johnny, one of the co-hosts, he and I decided to build PCs, like longtime console gamers. Funny story. That's actually how the name of the Casual Hour came to be, as we were just always considered casual gamers based off of, we were playing on consoles. So we were actually considered filthy casuals, if I'm being even more honest with you all. So we built PCs, and we immediately went down that rabbit hole, just full tilt, and have immersed ourselves in PCs and having a great time with it. We still play on console as well, but PC is our preferred platform. And we're like, you know what? Like, we have been doing so much online where we were trying to really just get more connected. Like, we were doing online stuff with work. We'd always done the show pretty remote, where we would record locally but talk on Skype. And we decided that with everything going on, hey, what's up, Smurf? Welcome to the chat. How's your night going? We decided that we were going to do the show live, and we've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and it's been a lot of fun. Like, we're trying our best to stick to a schedule. All of us have a lot of shit outside of streaming, like most people here do. But so far, we've been able to make it work. Like, our families are super supportive, and we're able to fit it in around work. Like, that's why I'm doing more of these late night Monday and Fridays. And if we can start to add in more stuff as like bonus streams throughout the week, we're going to do that. The stream's going great. We've got this new world going here in Satisfactory. I'm in the early stages. You just walked into probably one of the more boring aspects of it. That's what I'm trying to wrap with everybody here. But we're just crafting some stuff until we get our systems built up enough to really automate this process for us. So I just got enough of this copper wire, which we took from an ore to an ingot, and then we're going to bring this together as wire. That's going to get this next phase wrapped up, get us some more shit. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This area here, this is our hub that we built. I didn't build it like that. It's not that extravagant. This is like a survival craft. It's not really, I don't want to say survival, because there's no survival elements to it. It's a crafting game. Think like a Minecraft, think kind of like Stardew Valley. You're gathering resources and you're finding recipes and you're crafting and building that. The whole concept is we're going to build a huge ass factory. So we're going to get these raw materials from this planet that we're on up into space to the company we work for. And there might be some combat we get into, not a lot. That's not the main focus of the game. But really, this is a game about scalability and automation. And we're going to try and build up a big ass factory. So I only have one thing built. And I've got a few portable little miners out. Like, we're just teeny tiny babies right now. But I'm going to load up my prior save near the end of the stream and show you what I had done. This is like a brand new from scratch world that I'll probably play while doing these streams here. So what we had found when we first came in here was a couple of these raw resources. So this was for iron. I had been looking for iron there. I also just found some copper. So I've got portable miners set up on both of those materials. And we're going to use this scanner to help find more of that. And then we'll start to venture away from this area in a little bit. But we're really trying to get started with some of these early milestones. So let me go turn that in. And we will see what we need to start getting next. Hey. This is satisfying, or satisfactory. See what I did there? They should be paying me for this.
Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation.
Is the game audio coming through? Does it need to be up or down? Can you hear what they're saying?
Improve the productivity of individual buildings to aid with optimization.
Yes, that was Santa's sleigh. They recently had a holiday event where you could get like presents and you could build a Christmas tree. And I don't think they've updated that button quite yet. Okay. So the pod's launched. It comes back in 3 minutes. A little low at the moment. All right, let me see if I can turn that up really quick. Give me 1 second here. We're going to turn that desktop audio up. The last time I did the Destiny stream, it was so damn loud. It was like you couldn't hear any of us talking. So I'm going to try and bump this up a little bit more. It's a pretty low game to begin with as far as audio goes. So we're going to wait about another 2.5 minutes. That pod will come back. We'll go select our next milestone and we'll continue to venture out a bit. So these here, Smurf, since you just came up, these are portable miners. This area that I'm on right now, this is a pure iron ore area. So I drop this down and it can only hold 100 at a time. Like this is nothing compared to what we're going to be able to do. But this is collecting this for us while I can run around and do it and take this to other places. I do need to build that workshop. Let me see what resources I need for that again. One of the things I like about this also, let me point this out. You can pull up this guide. You got tutorials built into it, recipes. I can search for anything. So if I'm ever like curious, like what do I need or what can I get, it'll let me know right away, like what that would look like. But we're going to build. This is your build menu. They break it down into different categories. So as far as production goes, we've got a constructor, a miner, smelter, craft bench, etc. That we can start to look into. Power. So I've got 2 biomass burners built onto the hub that we had, but I can build one of these on its own and set it up where I might not have power. What really sucks in the early game is that I have to feed this resources to get the power going there also. There's a lot of pieces, man, and the less work we have to do, the better. So we got a minute before that hub comes in. I definitely want to build my workshop, and I think that would be an okay spot for it there. Equipment workshop. So we need some more aluminum or iron sheets. Sorry, we need some more of those iron sheets. Plates, iron plates. Come on, Bobby, get it together. Yes, that's exactly what we're trying to do. We want to be able to hang out and not worry about this stuff. We want it to do its own thing. So we got enough here. Let's build this workshop out. Oh. You can start to see it coming back in. This is pretty cool. Let me see if I can find it. So this is just what took all those things that we built up to the company we work for. This is our pod that we launched up there. Yeah, I have to wait for this to get back. This is where the milestones are located. So once this thing docks back to our hub, we can take a look at those milestones.
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
All right, so this is back. We'll open this up. We just did the logistics milestone of tier 1. So I've got field research that I can do here. This will get us an object scanner. We can get a beacon, personal storage box. We get the MAM. The MAM's pretty important. I'm going to do this one next. So we select that, and then you immediately start putting your research into it. Earlier on the stream, I showed this. Let me turn my video off. You can see up there, it puts your current milestone that you're chasing. So I'll be filling up these items here as I'm trying to get this all taken care of. Okay, so I'll start to feed this in here. And I just need to start crafting this stuff. So we got to make screws, we got to make copper wire, and we got to make those plates. All pretty simple stuff. I mean, we're very early into it. And I've got those machines grabbing that work for us. So I can make quite a bit here of this iron. And you just hold it down, which this part sucks early on, but eventually I'll have conveyor belts that will take the raw iron right out of that into an area that's going to make it into the bricks here for us. And then once the bricks are made, I can start to send those off to become plates or rods or screws or anything like that. And I can even have it all come back into one area. I can have it assemble other things. I mean, you're building a factory. You're literally building assembly lines in a factory. And so you got to do power management. We got to make sure that we get the right power stuff going to it. It's nuts. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And so, as I was saying earlier before you hopped on here, Smurf, there'd be times where I would just weigh down my spacebar and I would be like flipping around Twitter or doing something like that. Yeah, it is. I mean, like once you understand what it's asking of you, like if what Smurf said here in the chat was it sounds complex and simple at the same time. Yeah, absolutely. Like it gets so big and scary and crazy, but it's, you know, when you got to eat the elephant, it's one bite at a time, right? And so I've got little simple things going right now, and I find a routine like do a process, clear out my miners until I get them to where they're going into storage or until they're routing into something else. But there's a lot of downtime, and it works well for a stream. I mean, it's not super fun to look at during these moments, but it's a chance for me to actually like communicate, hang out, rest a little bit. And again, if I needed to like take a bathroom break or something or get a refill, I would just throw down my controller, which I'm playing with mouse and keyboard, but I have my controller here that would weigh down my space bar, and I can do that. So it's got a lot of easy outs. When I played with other people though, like this is where it gets really cool. Is like somebody else could be running around gathering resources right now, and I could be working on crafting. And so like one night when I was playing with Johnny, we really had like broken up the work to where it's like, okay, you're going to focus on this, you're going to focus on that. And then I would be like, okay, we need more of this. Can you find that? And I would ping it and he would go get it. And that way, it's like right now, like this is time that I'm not productive. I mean, I'm productive in a way, but I don't have the ability to go and like do other things. Or like if I was playing with a group of people, you could really split the work up and start to do other crazy shit. So like I could be focusing on crafting, another person's scouting, another person's gathering. Like it all comes together really effectively, and it's something that I think's really cool. So as you can see, like we've got a pretty big order here with 300 wire. Well, you can't see because I'm blocking it, but we need 300 wire, we need 300 screws and 100 plates. It's just going to take a minute. Plus I needed the plates to build that in the back, which let me go do that. I keep talking about doing it. I'm going to forget to do it. So let's build our workshop really quick. Iron plate. I thought I had those. I thought I just got those. What's going on here? I think it was reinforced. Maybe it was. All right. There we go. That's what we want to see. So now we got a workshop. Workshop's pretty cool. This is where we're going to get our tools built. So I've already got the zapper. That's my tool in my right hand. But the portable miner, I can make another one of those. And I do want to make one of these. I've got the stuff to do it. Because I got another iron deposit that we can drop this one on. So I'm going to craft this. And I'm going to go grab my resources really quick. Then I'm going to come back and build some more stuff. Because these are unproductive. They'll go back to work. It's nuts to think that like this is the only area that we've been hanging out in. We're not really doing a whole lot, but I mean, I got lucky in finding some spots right out the gate that had some decent stuff to them. I mean, there's definitely things down here as the sun's coming up or down. We can check that out a little bit later. But I wanted to at least get our footings and maybe get some power ran to where there's a little bit more automation taking place. Here's that other pier area that we had. So I'll pull out that. Drop it. And now that's starting the mine. We'll clear out this other location. So far we've got copper and a lot of iron going. We only got one copper node. I can't remember if there was anything else around here. What's that one? Is there another one up here? I don't know if we can get up that way. I'll have to go around. Yeah, there might be another one up here, and that would be two of them for us. Oh. All right. Take that, buddy. So there is some copper here. Cool. So there are some threats. Those particular creatures that I just killed, pretty frequent on the original build that I had going. And they can mess you up, but it's a pretty easy strategy. Jump over them or strafe around them. Definitely, definitely some good stuff in this area. I'll come back. I'll build another miner for that one, and we'll have 2 copper going. It's great. There is fall damage. You want to be careful about it later on in the game. It was, and there is a bigger one, Smurf, that is not very kind. These things here are peaceful. They don't mess with you. They look pretty gnarly, but they don't tear up anything. They don't mess around. They're fine. So I think that we've got a decent amount of stuff to craft. We know what our job is. It's just really following the milestones. I'll go ahead and clear these off one more time since we're back and forth. Smurf, what games are you playing right now? I know you said that you're pretty busy a lot of the times. So we need screws. So to make the screws, we do need to take an extra step here with the iron rod. Oh, cool. How's that running for you? I haven't played it since I've done all the patch updates lately. It wasn't terrible for me by any stretch when I was playing it, but part of me was like, you should wait till they get this a bit more hammered out. So I decided to wait it out. But I put about 35, 40 hours into it before I stopped playing. And Warzone, of course. I've never played Warzone. I've been tempted, especially watching a friend of the show, Hybrid Glass, play a lot of it. And I know Johnny's played some. But yeah, I haven't played any Call of Duty for a long time. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was able to run it pretty effectively. Like outside of the T-poses and weird, like, you know, artifacting type stuff I saw from time to time. It wasn't terrible. Like I didn't have any game-breaking bugs, I should say. But yeah. It was fine. Like it was, I think, a game that definitely was maybe a little underdeveloped for consoles, which I totally understand frustrations there. But I think if you had a PC that had decent equipment in it, you were good to go, from what I could tell. So we're making, we're at 112 right now. We get 4 for every 3, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We get 4 screws. So this goes pretty quick. We're just hopping up to 300. And that'll allow us to get that one knocked out. Copper will take a little bit more time to get. But yeah, really quick, just to wrap up stuff with Cyberpunk. I enjoyed what they were doing. That was a game that I was incredibly hyped for. And I've thought about firing it back up since I'm streaming now because I think it is a pretty streamable game. And I'm curious how that story wraps up. But I decided I would wait until it was a bit more accessible across the board. And I know that studio will definitely see it through and get it done. I have nothing but faith in their ability to put their heads down and work. And I think once some of the hysteria settles a bit, they'll be able to do that for sure. All right, we got too much stuff. Story my life in games like this. We need to clear out space. I don't need you. Don't need all that iron. This is one of the other reasons you want to scale up quickly is you run out of shit. You can't do shit. And so you want to figure out a way, like we can build more storage containers right now. But we'll get to it. We'll figure it out. We're close. I think we're really close. Like I could, in theory, set up, which I might do. Like I'll get through what I have in my inventory, and I'll just set up a couple of big miners so you can see what they're doing. Yeah, I'm happy that they're working on it. I don't want their development team to get death threats and dumb shit like that. Like I think people, this is on Steam and Epic. I believe it originally started out as an Epic Store exclusive. They have a weird thing. If you buy it on Steam and you want to play with anybody who's on Epic, you have to basically give Steam or Epic access to one another to where you can do the crossplay through those two platforms. I have this on Epic, I believe. I think that's where I have it. I think I actually got it when it was they had it on sale, and then Epic did all those like $10 off coupons around the holiday, and I think I picked it up then. But it is on Steam, Epic. I don't know if it's on Origin, but it is on Steam and Epic for sure. Yeah, we're kind of watching paint dry right now, which is never a blast, I know. But I promise you, like we're close to really wrapping this up here and getting some fun things going. Let me see if I can build one of those really quick. What that would look like. So if we wanted to do a miner, what all does that require? The portable, the plates, and the screws. Oh, concrete. I think I have some concrete. We do have concrete. And I can get my miner. What else did it need? Miner, plates. We can make some plates really quick. So what I'm going to build next is the actual miner. It's not a portable one. This is a stationary big-ass miner. And this is the one that we can hook storage containers up to. This is really the origin for starting to really create your production line. So we're going to build one or two of those right now. Probably just one for the time being. Okay. So we got to get this miner picked up, which I don't have enough room for it. Should have known. Drop off some of the ore. All right, that's picked up. And now I think I want them to run out this way. Yeah. Sweet. So you're going to see this green section here is telling us that that's the output location. So once you get it onto an area like I have it, I can use the scroll wheel on my mouse to move it around and change the direction, but I can't really take it with me. It's on that spot. So for me, I want it to come out like so. And we just built this big ass miner, which is awesome. This thing's so cool, right? So this is hooked up where that portable one was. I can output this directly. It does require power. Let me see if I can build a container yet. We can. So I just got to get this set up. And you can hold down and basically like lock these into place, but you'll see on my screen I've got that letting me know that I've lined them up correctly. So I'm going to start to go back a little bit here. Make sure that these are lined up the way I want them to be. Perfect. So I'm not going to, like, this is temporary, right? Like, this is going to go into other shit. But, like, for the time being, while we're hanging out, like, I'm going to build this out to get us what we need. I'm going to need some plates really quick because I got to build a ramp into it. So we'll do a little bit more iron plates. And that should be good. I think I got enough to make some biomass. Yeah. So I'm going to make some biomass for the power that we're going to need to run here. So I've got that set up. It's not a ton. I'll have to get some more here pretty quick. So we'll drop that off into our fuel. So now I've got fuel into here. And I need my wire that we had. Build a plate really quick. So this is our conveyor belt, and I want that to go into here. Great. So the only thing left to do is to run some power in. So then I can take my power line. And we're going to hook up directly to it. And we're mining. So I can come over here. See this fire up and go. I can configure what's going on here. So we're getting 120 per minute. Boom. This is automated. So all that running around, grabbing shit that I was doing, no more. So this is taking it. It's going into this storage container. So you can see the flow is going. And we've got that here. Now I can do some crazy shit if I really wanted to, and we will. Underneath logistics, so like I can do a conveyor belt. So let's say that I wanted to put this up there for some reason. I could have this conveyor belt run out, come over here, and I can have it elevate up to the top. Or I can have this split. So maybe I want to take raw iron ore into 3 locations. That's not a problem. I can make that happen also. What we do want to look at is, from a production, this constructor is really handy also, because that's going to assemble what we need to do as far as the bricks that we're building. So I can have that, send it all in here. If I wanted to have a raw, I don't really need to keep that. So if I took this out, I've got 63. I can disassemble this. And one of the nice things about disassembling, you get all your stuff back, which is great. So you're not losing anything. I can tear down and build back up as much as I want to. So I'm going to rebuild that in just a second. The first thing that I want to build in its place, though, is this constructor. And I need to get my other plates out. And I'll switch some stuff around here to make sure that we got room to do what we need to do. So this will take more power, but we can run that power. It's not a problem. So I'll get my constructor. Got that lined up. Boom. So I can then finish running my conveyor belt. So that's going to take it in here. It's not going to do anything because I don't have power to this yet. I don't know if I got enough. Yeah, I got enough wire. And I should just build a power. There we go. So I'm going to set this up because I've got one line coming off of this directly to our miner, but I need to get power to both of these. So if I have a power pole, that will get me 4 things off one location. So we're going to disassemble that power line, and we're going to run the power directly to the line, and then we'll go to each one of these items like so. And I'll configure this so I can have all these options on what I want it to make. So do I want it to make plates? Do I want it to make iron rods, screws, etc.? And I think I might have goofed. So maybe I missed a step here. Yeah, I think the smelter is what I want. Let me double check. Yeah. We got a little ahead of ourselves. It's okay, though. We're going to go smelter next. Once we get this smelter set up. Actually, I want to get rid of some of these conveyor belts because I don't want it to be this spread out. All right. Now I feel better about this because we won't be so far from what's going on here. We get a little bit closer. We got smelter. And then the next one that I want to build was our constructor. Perfect. Hey, what's up, Chase? That's a pretty good one. You should maybe write for a living. You're pretty good at it. That's Chase in the chat. He is one of the co-hosts of the show. Say hi to Chase, everybody. Make him feel at home here. He's judging me silently. Well, audibly here in this case. So I'm putting a conveyor belt from our miner to our smelter. And then into this here. We've got our power coming into this pole. I can get up to 4 items on it, so I need to run power to this one. And one more stop. Okay. Let's configure this big madness up. We're going to make iron with this one. So that's set up. That's automated. They should start to come out. Perfect. And then here... I think I'm going to make plates first. That seems like a better fit for what we need. All right. And then we'll have those go into our storage container. And that, my friends, is how the sausage gets made. Literally. Iron sausage. And that's one segment of it. Now, I'm not here to say I'm the best at this. There's quite a few people out there who will put me to shame. But we've now got a fully automated process here of getting raw material, converting that, and then making it into an item that we need. And it's going to go into the storage here. So that's one less trip that we have to make. So if I need those sheets... because they can go into quite a bit of stuff for us. We're able to do it. Which I am going to need those sheets, so we can check back on that. Copper is another one, so I can go and set up this whole setup again, which probably would be smart to do on converting this here. And if I wanted, like if I really wanted to get wild and crazy, we could basically add a piece here that gets me just the raw material versus these here. So I could have that come out, and that could essentially be going into another one of these that would feed into another portion and getting me all those. So like if we wanted to get crazy, which, you know, we could, it's just going to slow down this whole flow. And I wouldn't build it here because I've got these all set up. So my plan is to basically duplicate this whole setup on each one of these, and then that would get us our plates, our rods, and our screws, and we would have all of those coming right here in this location. And if we needed a bonus one, we could. I could do this one over here and have that set up. So since I've been talking, we got 42 of those already, which if you remember, I would have had to go and pick that up. I would have to bring it over here. I would have had to smelt it down. I would have had to do all that by hand. And so the less you hear from me, the probably more enjoyable this is for you. So I'm going to keep automating while we're doing that. So I'll turn these in. We're close. But I need to make some more copper. Let's go pick all that up because the copper's been sitting for a while. And we really should set up an automation down there for copper. When I talked about this on the show, Chase had said that he didn't trust himself with a game like this, and I get it. it's easy to lose yourself to Satisfactory. It's easy to lose yourself to things like Minecraft. I've done it multiple times in my life. And if there was ever a way, because I don't know if this is coming to PC. I'm sorry if it's coming to console. They're still a ways off on their roadmap, but I could see it being a really cool crossplay experience, and maybe then I could get him to play it. But doubtful even then. All right, 2 of the steps are done. We just need to focus on our copper wires. There might have been some more in here. Was there any more? Nope. All right. Let's make some more of these bricks. There's been a weird cycle of games that I've been playing lately between Everspace, Heartspace Shipbreaker, Satisfactory. Like, they're all these weird science fiction, kind of doing monotonous work outside of Everspace, as I mentioned earlier. But the parallels I've had, like working here, building a factory, but then being the person out in space dismantling things. It's a weird juxtaposition between those 2 games. But they work. They work just fine together. All right, we've got enough to make this wire. This is going to take a second, though, because our ratios, all about those ratios, 2 for 2, and takes a bit of time. I've seen people who have written scripts or commands that they put in their terminals that like lock the mouse to where if they like click it a certain amount of times, I think it'll stay compressed to where they don't have to do it. Like, I'm hands-free at the time. Gotta wait on the space bar doing the work for us. But this is enough to make me want to build that whole setup again that we just did for copper to avoid this process. Like, it becomes like, it really, the game elevates very quickly at certain points. So like, once you get your copper wire and your cable automated, and you've got your plates, your rods, and your screws all being automated, it then becomes just running around grabbing stuff and doing fuel management, which we'll probably have to do a fuel run here in a second to get some more stuff, because we're going to burn up through it now that we're powering 3 things. I did make some biomass versus just using leaves. That'll burn a lot longer. I would highly encourage anybody who is playing to scale that up quickly. Don't just throw leaves in. It's a waste of time. Break them down. Break down grass. Get that biomass stuff that you can then make other pieces with that burns a lot longer until you can get to coal power or oil or even like nuclear. That's when it really becomes something nuts to think about. Okay. So we're going to turn in this. Let's press that button.
Milestone reached. The molecular analysis machine.
So this is sending that
referred
off.
to as the MAM will allow R&D to provide new technologies, items, and buildings based on samples collected in the field. To ensure a greater chance of success during exploration, an upgraded tool belt has been provided, as well as an object scanner and beacons. Note: the object scanner requires calibration via the MAM to enable detection of specific objects.
So cool. We just unlocked some nice things there for sure. Let me clear out some of this grass. And we're going to build the MAM. I think the MAM is one of the more important items to build as early as you can. So let's see here. Do we have enough stuff for it? Yeah, we're good to go. Won't quite fit there. Let me see if I can get it to go. There. That works. All right. So we've got the hub. We've got our workspace here. And now we've got the MAM. I don't know if you heard the AI talking, but the MAM is really how you get your progression trees going in the game. And this is where you unlock all the cool shit. So it does a few things, like it scans resources for you, but it also shows you like the trees that you can unlock more stuff with. So let's take a look at it. So if we wanted to configure it, this would be like if we wanted to look at alien organisms. So you have to research it. I don't have, it says I can't afford it, which I do have this item. It's just not on my person. So it has to be on your person. So let me go grab those. This is that from that armadillo looking creature that Smurfs called out earlier. So I'll grab its material. We'll go to alien organisms. And I'll start my research. And so when I do my research, that's going to open up this next log here. And I can now use...
New recipe unlocked.
Yeah, so I can now use this material to create
available in the MAM.
this new form of biomass. And I've got one other thing that I can use to make biomass, which is great. I do have flower petals. I've got some of these items. Let me go grab them really quick. And then we'll grab our other milestone, now that it's back also. So, there's that. Oh no, I need that. Flower. All right. I might have enough to do that one. We'll find out. Yep. So this is a 3-parter.
Object added to the object schedule.
Once I get these other ones here, which I need to get 3 more of them. And that basically unlocks those tiers. If I come over here, again, this is still configuring the same thing. So you'll see this is how you get more items. You can find some crash sites. So this hard drive is something that's pretty rare in the game. But if you find one, you can bring it back and it completely will rewrite how you can basically craft things. It's a whole new area, uses different materials. It's usually a pretty big boon on that process. See if we can make anything new. So we can make an object scanner. That's pretty cool. We can make a beacon. I got enough to do that. We were pretty close on everything else. I don't need that right this second because we're still pretty early in this process. So what I think I'm going to do is save this. I'm going to load up what I had prior and show you what that looks like. So let me save this one here. And I will name this the date. Okay, and let's load something from Bobby's world here. So this is in a different starting area. This is, I can't remember the name of it, but this is kind of the starter location that they encourage you to use. And right out the gates, you can see that I've got an upgraded tool here. We've got quite a bit more going on in this location. It's still a mess. It's not a very good looking factory by any stretch, but it's effective at what it needs to do. This is kind of the ticket to end game here. This is the space elevator, which that being built was one of my favorite moments from last year, but unfortunately it was an early access game, so I didn't talk about it too much, but that was really cool. So I've got quite a bit going on here. And some of it's held up currently. So this one needs power, which I don't have a lot of. So you can start to do some really bonkers things where we did a similar process to what we started off over there. So to come back and take you on the journey like we would have seen, I've got the miner here, bringing the material in where it's smelting it down, then being constructed where it gives us our plates. From there, I've got our plates running out, and they're coming directly into this item that's being fed two different materials. So this is being fed screws and it's being fed plates. And this needs power as well, but it's making those reinforced iron plates. So who else needs power? We go get some. Do I have enough to make any power? Yeah. So that's basically assembling multiple locations now where I've split off from that one that we had. That gets us the ability to stop all the automation. There's certain things that can only be constructed by a machine. Like, I just physically can't put them together on my own. So we're going to make some solid biofuel. This is what I was talking about earlier. This stuff here burns forever. We do have the ability on this build to do coal, but the problem I ran into with the location I chose, I don't have coal anywhere near me. So I could figure out a way to make this work where I'm routing power from a distance, but I think that this world is kind of at its point unless I really venture off quite a distance. We're talking like 800 to 1,000 meters away from what needs to be done here. So, not great. That's enough for the time being here. That'll get us what we need. So who needs the power? And that's the unfortunate thing. Like, I've got a lot of strands of spaghetti here. I'm trying to know which one does what. This one gets power from back this way. And if I had something like coal and like a water source set up, it's basically on its own, ready to go. I don't have to worry about always feeding this shit into it. So I'll go up here and give you a bit more of a vantage point of what we're looking at. So I've got 3 iron locations there, and those are all pumping things out. So this one's making plates, that one's making screws, and over here we're getting some, this one's making rods, and this one's making screws. And they all come together, and they're feeding in to these 2 particular items. So I've got this made to where I'm trying to craft shit for this particular item, and it's got to be all assembled. It's a lot. So I'll show you what that process looks like. So here I'm making these rotors, and I've got them overclocked. So you can find a material in the game that allows you to make these cores that work on your ratios. But this is also going to be a power consumption. So this, if I have the core, I could drop a core in here if I wanted to and take it up all the way and really increase my production, but I don't have the power resources because you then need to overclock these items. So I've got this completely overclocked, and you can see how my graph of my production is looking in comparison to it. So it gets to be real nuts when you're managing like what ratios and things like that look like. So this is all of our iron basically coming together and making parts. Iron has been a pretty big piece for me. Concrete, it's super straightforward. Not too different from what we were doing. So this here is bringing out the stone. I've got this making limestone into concrete. That comes down and it's filling up this, but all this was completely full. So I set up another storage container that's already full now. So I've got a lot of concrete. I can come and grab that. This over here is my copper production area. It's pretty neat. There's a lot going on in this one. It's a small, pretty compact area. So I built that little launch pad to get me up here quicker because I have to come up here and feed fuel into this. So this here is the closest copper area that I had next to where I was at. This is a biomass burner. So I've got 2 of these on the back of the hub that you saw. This is powering few items over here. So because this is up high, I've got an elevator set up. And I'll jump down and show that to you. That elevator's bringing down raw copper ore. So that's coming in here and being smelted. We've got our processed copper going through. And then this item is a smart delivery system where it's shooting out copper to all locations. So this one comes over. And this is becoming that wire that we need. So my wire goes straight through into this bin. So this here takes care of all that. So if I need copper wire, I've got these spindles ready to go. Copper wire fully automated, all from this one location. So the other piece of it goes in here. So if I just need straight up copper for whatever reason, which I don't because it's all automated, I can come and grab it off this. So I've added in maybe an unnecessary step. This was an early on from the build. I decided to keep it because it's more of a reserve system. If something would happen here, I got this still pumping it out. So this overflow surplus is coming out of this conveyor, and it comes over here now, and that is being processed into a copper sheet. So down here, I've got two different locations. This here is going to be my wire. This here is going to be my sheets, and those are fully automated, so I can grab either one of them. The last bit of it, this is coming out over here. So this side comes, it's going in to become a wire because you need a wire that then gets processed into a cable. So if I need cable for anything, I have it here. Now I'm not producing any, so I need to, let's see here. Let's build another storage container. That's full on that side. So we want to rotate it to where it'll come out. So we'll place that. And then I'm going to build an elevator that will take that up. So that'll go in like so. And now that should be getting fed those wires. So that means down here, as those start to go up, we're making wires again. So copper, whole copper setup, all done, ready to go. Everything that I would need for copper right now, all handled in this little corner. Still need to make a lot of fuel. But let's take a walk. Because I'm familiar with this layout, so I can show you a little bit of the differences here. And then we can either wrap up the stream tonight or head back over to the other one that we're working on. So this was an early concrete setup that I had. I decided I didn't need it. I could break it down, but it's got a lot of raw material in it. Game does a pretty good job loading up. Like, we're running full settings here on the computer. It's a very pretty game. It's got some really awesome landscapes. I think that the alien worlds they're building are really cool. If I needed to look for anything while we're out and about, this is a pretty high demand. Or coal. I mentioned earlier that we need some coal. Let's see if we can find some by here. Pretty sparse. All right. Let's go for this one here. This will be interesting. I might be able to show you a little bit more of the elevated combat on the game. So down there looks like I got a couple more iron areas. So that could be another area if I had to move this location or my current setup, I could move it over there. Those little guys can be your friends. I don't know if I have anything to make them a pet. Let me see here. They will run away if you're running. I ran up on them. Damn. Essentially, they'll be a little dog companion. But I want them to turn and face me. See if I can drop one of these. If it comes and eats it. Nope, not having it. All right. So I bet you our coal's down here. Looks to be. I'm feeling adventurous. See if we can find that coal down here. Got something here. Got some sort of ore. Limestone. Okay. Still looking for that sweet coal. These things are no fun. Got it. I think it's over this way. Ow. Two of them, huh? So we do have this pier, normal coal. So I could essentially build up down here, but that's a ways off from what we would need. So yeah, not terrible, right? Let's do this here. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up tonight. Well, I really appreciate everybody hanging out. I know that this is a game that can have like some highs and lows. It's definitely not going to have maybe the excitement of something like a Warzone would, but there's something really special about Satisfactory. I can't recommend it enough. I am playing this on Epic. They've done a pretty good job with their roadmap on the game, and I'm thrilled to see where it goes. I think it's got a pretty good style. I like the loop. I like what they're asking you to do here. I could totally understand that this might just be way too much for people on what it's asking, but it is something that I think that you can hop into for, you know, a small amount of time or for a rather large amount of time and have a pretty damn good time with it. It's best with friends, and if you can find a group of people to play with or another person to play with, I think it's something that's really, really cool. It's a great podcast game, so if you want to catch up on a podcast, it's a really great way to do that. If you want to catch up with a friend, like it's a game that doesn't require you to constantly be focusing. It's a really good game to get to know somebody and get to hang out, which is awesome. But as we close the stream tonight, we've had quite a bit of support over the last few weeks, and I just want to say thank you so much. Directly beneath me, you should see how to follow and what our schedule is and how to hang out with a lot of different people here on the show. We're at the Casual Hour, literally on all social platforms. Wednesday night is the night that we typically do our actual podcast live. That's at 7:30 Central. We do post those at 9 o'clock on Friday morning. So if you don't catch the stream, you can always listen to it on Fridays. And we have all of our back catalog over on Anchor. There should be a link to that in the About section beneath us here if you're looking at our channel. I'm the host, Bobby Pease, of that show. Chase Kinnicky and Johnny Amazich are the two co-hosts. They're usually on Wednesday nights. I do the streams on Monday and Fridays. Johnny did a stream this past Sunday for Hitman 3. We're going to try and get that going again. But I do want to say, thank you so much to everybody who stuck around and has been hanging out. It really means a lot. We got some exciting things planned for the stream and for Twitch. We're actually live on YouTube right now also. And we're constantly trying to come up with some new content and ideas, but we've had a lot of support from our friends and some strangers right out of the gates, and it's been a pretty incredible journey so far. But just want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out, and we'll be back live Wednesday night with a What You've Been Playing episode of The Casual Hour with Johnny, Chase, and Bobby. Have a great night. Take care and be safe.